Good Morning Night Vale is brought to you by The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine, a new independently produced and crowdfunded 10-episode original audio drama. Set in a deceptively familiar world of electronic surveillance and machine-mediated communication, The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine follows Lydia Ryan and her friends, lovelorn Ethan and wannabe internet sensation Dee, as they struggle to unravel the mystery of her mother's disappearance. Escape the sinister Fontaine family, and survive the feud over her grandfather's supernatural legacy. It weaves bitter family drama and high-stakes intrigue with fantasy and cyberpunk elements to create a surreal mystery about secrets and grudges, old books, big data, and the promise of infinite knowledge. And do not forget the talking birds. It's a full-cast production with original music and a bespoke soundscape presented through a series of found-footage-style surveillance recordings. And it's important to note, this show was made entirely without generative AI. Even the computers are voiced by human actors. Episodes are free, and you can start listening right now with the Season 1 finale due to come out on August 16th. For more information, go to lydiadisappears.com. and find The Disappearances of Lydia Fontaine wherever you get your podcasts and start listening from the beginning.
Insurance isn't one size fits all, and shopping for it shouldn't feel like squeezing into something that just doesn't fit. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they show you options that fit your budget. Enough hunting for discounts, trying to calculate rates, and tinkering with coverages. Maybe you're picking out your very first policy, or maybe you're just looking for something that works better for you and your family. Either way, they make it simple to see your options. No guesswork, no surprises. Ready to see how easy and fun shopping for car insurance can be? Visit Progressive.com and give the Name Your Price tool a try. Take the stress out of shopping and find coverage that fits your life, on your terms. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hi, everybody.
I have so much stuff with me. Okay.
Oh, yeah. At last, we are alone. At last, we are all of us alone together.
At last, every human alone together on this earth.
Good morning, Night Vale.
Good morning, Night Vale. It's us again. Me, Symphony Sanders, your lovable, sweet darling of a friend.
Hi, I'm Cecil Baldwin, and I am sitting in for the illustrious Hal Lublin.
And I am Meg Bashwiner, your friend and producer of this Good Morning Night Vale. Thank you so much for joining us. We are so excited to be here at PodCon 2, The Deuce.
Oh, yeah.
The Deuce.
And we are really excited. This is the first ever Good Morning Night Vale live show. So,
yeah!
History in this moment. But sadly, Hal is not here. He is in San Francisco at Sketchfest, which is like PodCon, but for the really funny people. So he's over there. His duties lie over there. But we have the lovely Cecil Baldwin instead.
Yeah.
You know, is it kind of weird that I'm on like a talkback show about the show that I'm on as well?
No.
Is that confusing?
No.
Should I use a different voice?
If you'd like to, if you want to try something out.
I was like, what if I just talk like this the entire time?
You could be Randy. Cecil has an alter
dare
ego
you.
named Randy.
This is Randy.
That's Randy.
Hey, this is Randy. Good morning, Night Vale. I'm here to talk about Cecil Night Vale.
That sounds great. That won't get
Valid.
hard to listen to at all for the next hour.
Awesome.
So Cecil has the episode description for us. For this episode, we're talking about condos today.
Condos.
And Good Morning Night Vale is the recap show of the podcast Welcome to Night Vale. It's the most meta podcast. We've gone so deep into it that we're actually inside of our own butts. So,
And it smells real good up in there. All right, so condos. Guess what? Condos have come to Night Vale, and everyone in town is coming to get one of these perfect new homes, including a certain scientist. Plus, a new wing at the Museum of Forbidden Technologies, visits from the mayoral candidates, and a very specific look at traffic.
Let's talk about it.
But first, let's call Hal Lublin, see what he's up to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we thought we'd call Hal. Let's see if this works. We have our lovely AV team has set us up with a phone call. Hey, Hal.
Hello.
Can we all hear him? All right, some of you can hear him. So, Hal, we're talking about condos. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I just got applauded just for being on the phone. This is a great day for me.
This is going well. You know what's really fun to do in live theater is try to call someone.
Yeah.
Folks, if you're out there, look, this is why you don't use your phone in a theater. It never works. Doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah, it does never work. But we just really want to say we miss you, and everyone here would like to say that they miss you too.
Aw, mush.
I miss all of you, and I'm sorry I can't be there, and I'm excited to hear the results of this, and then just yell at them out loud by myself.
All right, Hal. We hope you have a good day. We miss you.
All right, miss you too. Love y'all.
Bye.
We love that Hal Lublin.
He's a good egg.
He is.
That went great. Thanks. So yes, we're going to talk about this episode. This is the first ever proper live show for Welcome to Night Vale. We had done a few one-offs here and there, but this is, I think, the only one we've done more than once. The first one we started to do more than once. We started, the first premiere of this was at the Booksmith in San Francisco in September of 2013.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was where people thought we were giving away free weed on Haight Street because there were so many people.
And we were.
And we were.
Yeah.
To ourselves.
And we paid for it, so so it wasn't exactly that. But yes, we performed this there. This was also performed at the Largo in Los Angeles. This was performed at Geeksboro in Greensboro, North Carolina.
Yeah.
You and Joseph went solo. The two of you went on a little road trip or a plane trip down there and had a weekend.
Yeah, we did.
And
I want to know what that romantic weekend was like.
It was super fun. We had some good barbecue, and then we learned, after doing 2 shows. Oh no, that was the show where we learned recording people's outgoing voicemail never works. It goes about as well as that phone call with Hal did. We're like, hey, and just as an incentive, we're gonna pull a random name out of the hat, and Cecil Baldwin will record your outgoing voicemail. Some person didn't have a phone. The next person's name we pulled didn't know how to set their voicemail settings. And then the person after that, there was something else. We're we're never doing this again.
No.
we never have.
Lessons learned.
You live, you learn.
That's right.
Yes.
It's that Alanis Morissette song.
Thank you, India.
Thank you, Alanis Morissette. Yeah, so we fought with technology, and then this episode, the one that we all listened to prepare for this episode. Did anyone else go back and listen to Condos in prep?
Ooh.
Great, all 7 of you. Nice. Awesome. So this episode that we listened to came from Live at the Bell House, which was recorded in December of 2013, and I don't remember, I was there, because I'm in the recording, but I do not remember a single moment of any of it, so... Cecil, do you remember any of it?
I don't. Although, if you showed me a picture of what I was wearing, I'd probably remember it.
I'd shudder to think about what I was wearing.
But that's how it works,
Yeah.
You attach your memory to one thing, and for us, it's outfits.
Yeah, or it's I've been to the Bell House quite a bit, as a performer and as a spectator, and so all those things sort of blend together. And this was 5 years ago?
Yes.
If someone had said, "What are you doing Tuesday 5 years ago?" you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. That's absurd.
Yeah, it just feels like we should remember it, though. I feel like there must have, it feels like we should have remembered it because it was such a big deal for us. It was the first time I ever performed on the stage of the Bell House.
Yeah.
So that's, for those of you out there, the Bell House is this really awesome venue in Gowanus, New York, that is the home of podcasting in New York City. Every podcaster worth their salt has done something at the Bell House. So we have done a lot there, and we really love it. It was my first time ever there, and I don't remember it at all. But we have evidence of it, which is this episode. So what are our reactions to listening to this episode? Condos.
I liked hearing the old theme song.
Yeah. Good old theme song.
And my first note is realtors inside deer again.
Yeah.
I think that's gross still. That someone is talking to you from inside the body of a deer.
You know, it was interesting, like, because we just did 2 performances of our most recent live show just the other day at the Neptune, and I was like, whoa, this was back when Night Vale was creepy. You know, like it was really more creepy than funny, and now, like, and especially the script we're doing right now is like, I mean, like, we've kind of doubled down on the, like, pop culture references and, you know, like, the funny bits, and I was like, man, there's, like, hardly any, like, laugh lines in this episode. You know, it is just like good old-fashioned weirdness, you know?
It's weird, but there's also like that underlying love bit, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So,
well, I'm not saying there isn't, but, you know, because there's a lot of, like, Cecil going back to just be like, yes, faceless old woman. So what do you think, you know, like, Carlos means? And, like, there's certainly funny bits, but, like, for the most part, there's, like, long, you know, stretches of text where it's like, there's no punchline. It's just beautiful, creepy, you know, like, weird setups, you know?
Yeah, there is a lot of poetic language throughout this episode. I actually really like that, though, and it there's a lot of the repetition that happens a lot in Night Vale, and every time they reiterate that repetition, it becomes like darker and darker. The thing about blood, like invest? What was that one? This is literally how it goes. I'm like, what did I write down in my old notes? But yeah, there's a few things where it just like repeats. Oh yeah, invest, repeat. There's like blood and like something. Leanne Hart killing bloggers. That one too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a murderer. That one.
Right.
Invest your money in condos, invest your time in condos, invest your life, invest emotion, invest hope, invest your ideas about the future, invest your disappointment with your ongoing now, invest drops of blood. So yeah, it is that like kind of ratcheting up thing that we're getting with the repetition there in the jump. So yeah, starting out like listening to this episode, there's like a few things that I'm taking away, and one of them is the cold open, which is all of us alone together, and it's like acknowledging that we're all in the same room together. So it's this nod to the beginning of the
it's
live.
It's like the first
story.
live show, yeah.
And then the big thing at the jump that gets everyone excited is Cecil saying, "Carlos is my boyfriend." And it felt really like line in the sand, very epic, because we had spent the first year of this show kind of will they, won't they? Right. And then there was like, oh, they're gonna. And
there was first date.
Yeah.
Kid come out. Yeah.
Yeah, we had first date, and we had like we're kind of in the meat of the story right now, where their relationship is developing, and it's developing in a really lovely way. Because when we start to think about, when we hear about Carlos in the beginning couple episodes, it's his perfect hair, his perfect teeth. He's this perfect scientist that Cecil is just enamored with. And then as we're getting later on, we're getting more things that they're like the reality of it. So it's like he chews kind of loud, and he doesn't call as much as he should, and he's trying. So we are getting more. We move from this like kind of honeymoon fantasy period into like, oh, this is a real relationship. It's a lovely, loving relationship, but there's reality to it, and it's not all rainbows and butterflies.
But there's still a ton of squeeing.
Oh yes, so much squeeze.
Yeah, because I mean, even especially when when you start to say the L word, and they're like, everybody's like,
it's like, I love you. Oh, wait, what? No, you go first.
I know.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that feeling, right?
There's this point in the episode, for those of you who didn't do a re-listen, where they're both saying Carlos and Cecil are both saying goodbye on the phone, and they both say, like, almost say I love you to each other at the same time, but then they're like, no, you go, what were you going to say? And it just, like, the moment gets totally, like, sliced with the awkwardness of a telephone call. This is, on a personal note, this is the theme of this episode, the story that we're dealing with is maybe Cecil and Carlos moving in together. And this was written at a time where Joseph and I it was our first year living together. So this was written at the end of our first year living together. So there's a little bit of that in there, I think, the kind of seeping in. Does anyone out there live with their partner? Anyone? Yeah? Anyone remember what the first year was like? Yeah.
She crazy. She crazy.
It's an interesting thing to kind of mesh your life with someone. And then for us, for Joseph and I, it was like a big adult step. We were in our early 20s, and it was like, okay, we're kind of transitioning out of our early 20s and into our mid 20s, and we're solidifying who we are and the relationship that we want to have. And so it is definitely there's a lot of pressure on it. It's a big step for a relationship. And it's really great because you get to be close to your partner and you get to build a home together. But yeah, there's some growing pains.
But you get into the real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The like, if you leave open that, kitchen cabinet door one more time, I will beat your head up against it. Because I am tall and I will hit my head upon it. And yet you still continue to do that.
Yeah.
What?
There's lots of murderous thoughts that probably happen.
Honestly, this is one of my favorite traffics.
Oh yeah.
The put the car, like imagine a car. And that was one that like, it's my favorite to listen to. It's my favorite to perform. The writing is so beautiful and unexpected and funny and absurd. And it's just like one of those evergreen passages that just never ceases to get old to me.
Yeah, that one I guffawed out loud at because I was like, okay. And he's like, you keep like
picture a car.
No, like, nope, not that one.
Yeah.
It's like keep naysaying whatever you're actually thinking and thinking about a person. And then you find out that you killed someone.
Yeah.
Through the collective mind power of the town. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, we are all implicit in murder now because of this weird podcast that we have listened to. But it's imaginary murder, so it's okay.
I actually like that you can hear people in the audience like openly laugh at that. And I'm like, y'all just killed somebody. And you're like, ha ha ha. Ha ha ha.
Because they thought it wasn't real, but it was. So yeah, and not to get all fluffy, Cecil, but your performance of that part is a lot of fun. You're you're working with a live audience for the first time as the character of Cecil. You've worked with a live audience your whole life. You've been a performer since you were born. When you at the hospital and you were born, you were like really like feeding off the doctor's energy. And
I'm an Aquarius, man.
Yeah. But this was the first time the character of Cecil was addressing a live audience and getting some back and forth from it. And I thought that you did a great job with it. But it was really fun to listen to you work off their energy and then work off your energy, and you kind of track down where they needed to be to get them to this mental experiment of murder.
Yeah. and it's kind of fun and exciting as a performer to put your performance in the hands of an audience because you can like when people say hold for laughter, there's nothing worse than that when people don't laugh, and so this was one of those experiments where it's like like the audience would kind of tell me how quickly to move through it, or like there's no control over audience reaction. I don't know, it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's interesting to take a look at the origins of audience interaction with the Night Vale live shows, because at this point in the game, we've done a bunch of different live touring scripts, and now we're at the point where the audience interaction is so intense that we bring one of them on stage with us. So the interaction is full on. Symphony, as Tamika, takes an audience member backstage and things happen on stage with them. We can't tell you what
solely have the power.
But we've totally, at this point in the game, 5 years in, we've broken down all of the barriers of what an audience and Night Vale characters can be.
Pretty soon we're just going to be like handing our wallets to them, be like, could you just run out and like register me for a few credit cards? And
can you vote for me? Thanks.
Yeah, take up some student loans in my name. That'd be great.
One of the other things I wanted to talk about at the beginning when the first call comes in from Carlos, and we'll talk about this a little bit more when Dylan Marron comes out, but not yet, Dill.
I love that Dylan Marron.
But the start at the top of the call where it's like, you sound different. This is the first time that Dylan's voice was Carlos on the show. Before that, it had been played by the wonderful and brilliant voice actor Jeffrey Craner.
Yeah.
So this
for one paragraph ever.
Yeah.
It was before when that was recorded. It was before the relationship had been fully formed between Cecil and Carlos, and a lot of the Night Vale world was still kind of coming together. So Jeffrey is the first Carlos, and we talk about that controversy on Good Morning Night Vale. Yeah. But this episode, when Dylan takes on the role, there's a line at the top that's like, your voice sounds different. And we're like, yeah, he's a different person. But
throat spiders.
Throat spiders. We have to replace my vocal cords.
Isn't that the beginning of throat spiders, which is my favorite disease in Night Vale.
Yeah.
It's not the beginning of Throat Spiders.
Oh,
but
no,
it's a
it happens-
continuation of Throat Spiders.
Oh, yeah, because I feel like we talked about it once, because I always imagine just like sacs, pustule sacs on the inside.
Good morning.
Good morning, Night Vale.
This is what runs through my sick mind daily, just like cracking open and just like spiders
Just like spiders coming
flooding
out your
out.
throat.
Yeah, it's not just like one or two. It starts as like one. And
Like
then,
full-on Stephen King creep show style.
Yeah, and then it's just like pouring.
So get vaccinated
Get vaccinated.
for throat spiders,
For throat
everybody.
spiders.
This is going to be PG-13 AF.
So we have two great performances in this episode from Mara Wilson as the faceless old woman,
Yep.
and we have Jackson Public who comes out and does Hiram McDaniel. So we have two guest actors doing live work on this show, and it was another big first for Night Vale is bringing in these guest actors to do something live, and then what they say. So the faceless old woman comes out and she starts talking about the condos, and she issues a warning about the condos because she has this kind of, in my canon of the faceless old woman, she has like this sixth sense, this ability to read things and be prescient, and she sees more of the world than we do, and so she issues the warning about the condos.
Yeah, her place in time in the universe is just outside of what we perceive. I don't think it's linear. I think I mentioned this before. I feel like she's like the bent neck lady, where it's like
Yes.
she exists in all these different
Wait,
times.
she's the one?
She's the bent neck lady
God,
from House on Haunted Hill, or the Haunting of Hill House, or the Netflix
Right.
series. Watch it.
Or the mom, where she keeps like popping in and out, and like I think she perceives time differently. But can I tell you the part when she's talking about skittering along the ceiling? The idea of someone skittering like along the ceiling freaks me out. I love horror movies.
I feel like this is very like Japanese, like Asian horror trope.
Yeah. And they always have their hair over their face, and you just hear like a, and then they're just like.
Yeah, it's very The Ring.
love it.
We talk about on this show a bit how Night Vale is using the tropes of horror and the things that they bring in. The faceless old woman is like straight out of the horror playbook.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is that, and she's the girl from The Ring, and she's the bent neck lady, and she's the faceless old woman, scary in her own right. But in the world of Night Vale, she's maybe not so scary because she's running for mayor.
Yes.
Right.
And also she does very mundane things. And I think that's like one of the brilliance of like the writing is that here's this like super duper scary idea, but then in practicality, she just like moves your coffee cup or like rearranges your sock drawer. Like these like incredibly mundane things, like if you had access to like somebody's house and like you could move throughout somebody's house, without them seeing you, like that's a really creepy idea.
Yeah.
But then she uses that power just to do silly things like, I took a bunch of leaves and put it in your sock drawer. What?
But I think that can be more unsettling because since you don't perceive her, all you come back to is like, you're like, no, I swear to God that was over there. I swear. Or I put that thing over there and now it's in a different drawer. Or this book isn't the book in that it says it is. Like, it'd be just unsettling and crazy making. She's a gaslighter.
Oh, she is.
Y'all.
Yeah, she's like a professional gaslighter. Yeah.
Yeah. So we hear from her, and we also hear from Jackson Public, who's playing a five-headed dragon. And in this script, I think this is one of the only times that this actually happens, is where he plays all five heads. I think later on, we stopped having him do all five heads because he was like, I can't do this. This is way too many characters at one time.
No, I think he does. In most live shows.
I think it takes it down to, he can like kind of mention the other ones, but I think three at a time is kind of his. I mean, it's excellent. I can't do two at a time. So,
it's crazy, right? Like
Yeah.
listening to this episode, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's, yeah, like I was just kind of in awe. I was like, wow, he's really doing it, isn't he?
When he pops, popping in and out of character like that, it's very speech team for me. Like I'm a old school speech kid.
Humorous
so,
interp.
Oh yeah, with the book, and you're just like changing characters every page turn.
Yeah.
It's just so sharp the way he transitions from one to the other. Like totally, you get a totally different visual picture or mental picture of what those heads are doing, what their personality is like. Like the gray one is all sad and like boop boop boo.
Yeah, the gold head's kind of like the main character, the one with the like little bit of the drawl, the southern
and he
drawl.
interprets for the other ones, which
Yeah,
I like.
he's like, what they mean to say was, he's the politician.
Yeah. One of those things that I really love about the section with Hiram is that he talks about, he's running for mayor as well, and he talks about him coming to Night Vale for the first time and why he wants to be mayor, because he likes it there because it was the first city that made him feel normal, because it's a five-headed dragon, so obviously it's a different way to see the world and exist in the world, and he came to Night Vale and felt like he felt normal there and felt accepted, even though
Is
he
that
was
a
a five-headed
metaphor
dragon.
or something?
I don't know if it's not a metaphor at all. It's very literal.
It's very little.
But yeah, that Night Vale is an accepting place. It's accepting of difference, because there's the difference isn't what makes us other. It's the horror that makes us other.
But then what I love about Jackson's performance is that if you listen really closely, then he's like, yeah, that pub seemed kind of far away, so I just ate the person instead. But he just like totally buries that line. He's just like, yeah, it's like feels, hearts, feels. Oh yeah, I totally just ate that person because I'm a psychopath, and then just moves right on. And, so it's that, like, there's no room for sentimentality in Night Vale,
No. And you're allowed to eat people. It's not a crime.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, allowed.
Yeah. Well, they go back and forth in Night Vale about whether murder is legal or illegal. There's several. There's a purge time. We had just So.
They recently just said, okay,
yeah, you got
murder
2
is
weeks
illegal.
before murder becomes
That's it.
illegal.
Even though you're like, kill your double, that's okay.
Yeah, killing your double is fine.
well, obviously they're
well,
from
you should.
somewhere else.
I disagree.
Interlopers,
Interlopers. So let's talk about these condos. So they're
like obelisks, basically.
is a
big
condo.
black boxes that are.
Is that a condo?
Is this a condo? Look,
that a condo?
you know what? Actually, this might be a condo right here.
Yeah.
Are these condos? Is it a metaphor? Is it a simile?
Oh, that's actually.
It's like a simile.
I didn't.
Randy approve.
Actually, I didn't even think of it as like your phone. You get sucked inside of it.
I mean, it's like, is a podcast a condo? It's these like little.
What is a podcast?
What is a podcast?
What is podcast?
But it's these black boxes that you crawl into and you kind of live there. And what is it like when you go inside? It's sort of a dreamscape. It's like a whole landscape that you've created for yourself.
Yeah, it's like this melancholy world. It's like it's your perfect world, but there's also a lot of melancholy in it.
Yeah.
I think in this
Is my brother and me a condo?
Yeah, sure is. There's this part in the script that describes what condos are as a nightmare, a beautiful nightmare.
And they are beautiful.
And they are beautiful.
I love that.
It's it's very Night Vale wording, where it is like this. It's the thing that we talk about with jellyfish, where they're beautiful and also really weird. So it is the overarching theme of Night Vale is beautiful and weird, and condos are nightmares, but they're beautiful.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people have that tattoo.
How many people in this room have that tattoo?
Oh, that guy, that person.
Yeah.
Who do we have? Does anyone have Night Vale tattoos? I have one. Symphony has one. Joseph
have
has
one.
one. Cecil doesn't have one, but he sort of has
I have an accidental Night Vale tattoo.
Yeah, Cecil, the creepy. Let's talk about your creepy Cecil tattoo, can we?
Yeah, okay.
So Cecil, you have this tattoo that's an eye on your chest
That your brother drew.
that your brother drew that you've had way before you were Cecil. So Cecil was chosen.
I know, weird, right? And it was supposed to have like, the sort of the Buddhist Om symbol, and I was like, oh, I'm not a practicing Buddhist. That's a little bougie. I can't quite pull that off. So I was like, hey, David, just like, just do like a spiral. It's just something, let's keep it real basic. But I still like the idea of an eye, and I had never got anything sort of monochromatic. I was like, yeah, that'll be nice. Just like something really simple. And then like 5 years later, like the eye symbol of Night Vale is like something that is sort of an intricate, like tied up in my life. So yeah.
Yeah, and now there's eyes everywhere. I've noticed that in design lately. Rob Wilson, who designed the Night Vale logo, he designed the eye.
He's a trendsetter,
He's a genius, and he's a trendsetter. And now, since that logo has been blasted all over the world, I see eyes everywhere. They're in patterns. They're there's a lot of eye stuff.
Yeah.
So, could be us. It could just be that eyes are cool.
Yep.
And that we use them to see sometimes. So, so we get to this, we're in all of this plot where Carlos is now trapped inside of the condo.
Yeah.
And we don't know what's going to happen to him. The people who are going into the condos they kind of become like brainwashed and trapped. And
I was very like, when he called and he was like, I'm going in the condo, I was like, no, don't go in the condo, Carlos. And I reached out my hand.
Yeah. And then it does the structural thing that sometimes happens in Night Vale episodes. A lot of times happens in Night Vale episodes where everything becomes a mess. We don't know what's going on with these people in these condos. And now Carlos is trapped and we like go off that cliff ledge and we go directly to the weather.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about the weather in a second, but let's get to the end of the episode first. We come back from the weather and Cecil's not there, which is something that happens sometimes in Night Vale, and it's very unsettling when that happens. Yeah. When we come back and the big bad has not been resolved, but instead there's someone else there, and it's the faceless old woman back again.
That's right. I remember when we did that, like one of the first shows at the Booksmith in Haight-Ashbury in San Francisco, and literally we are, in a bookstore, and we're sort of back. There's no backstage. It's like we're in the stock room, and like just sort of having to remind Mara Wilson. I'm just like, okay, Mara, you are the first person to walk out. And she's like, oh, I got this. And just like kind of being like a nervous stage mom, just being like, okay, Mara, like that's your cue. And she's like, yeah, I can do this, but I was like, no, you got to go just right after lunch. She's like, yeah, Cecil, chill the fuck out, and she would go out, and we did like 2 shows there, and she killed it every time. But it is that sort of unsettling thing and she's also like the most unsettling character, the faceless old woman, like kind of coming out and not giving you the sort of nice, easy wrap up that you want,
Right, but everything, as always, is just okay.
It's fine.
Everything's fine.
It'll all work out.
Everything's fine.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and we get back to Cecil comes back on stage, and we get the resolution to this episode where he goes into the condo, and we see Cecil's world of his imagined perfection condo, and he turns his back to it and grabs Carlos and gets the H out of there, and is like, perfection is its own thing, and it's not for us. We are going to live in this imperfect world, maybe in an apartment or a house.
Yeah.
Or a duplex.
That
was my favorite.
We're not going to do the condos. And I think one of the overarching themes of this group of episodes, it's like 2.5 seasons, it's that the breaking of perfection, and that the imperfect is much more has a better fit, a more comfortable fit than perfection ever could have.
I mean, that was the underlying thing of the Strexcorp plotline as well. It's just like anybody that smiles all the time is broken inside. Like that's unnatural and weird and unhealthy. And, like Night Vale may be, super crazy, but at least it's honest and imperfect. And it's honest about its imperfections rather than this sort of like forcing a smile and forcing perfection on people. Kind of like Nazis. Like it's, and
10:34, we're at the Nazi bit.
Hey, what's up? I mean, it's, what I love about Night Vale is that, it does, you can hang these like large socio-political, readings on these things, even though we're talking about throat spiders and, stuff like that.
It's an allegory, guy.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, like being at home in your imperfections, like that is your true, that's your truth, and that's your home, to be like, it may not be perfect, but it's better than that crap.
It's real.
Yeah, it's real.
Cecil and Carlos live together now.
Yeah.
Aww, the romance.
We're doing it.
Although, I mean, it seems like they need to go on like a second honeymoon or something. They need a little reconnect, I think.
You think where we are now, they need a little to spice
because
it up?
Well, it's like, like the books have come out, and like Carlos seems a little busy with his work.
Cecil's very busy as well.
Cecil's
He's a journalist.
really busy with it. They need to do like a couples retreat.
Yeah.
Do some trust exercises. Some like trust falls.
Yeah.
Do some Kundalini yoga together.
I hear that's good. Anyway.
I just like saying.
I think we should put that out in the air. Yeah, Kundalini.
Kundalini yoga.
I don't know what it means.
No, that's fine.
You mainly were right. Up next, a conversation with the voice of Carlos, Dylan Marron. But first, a conversation about this episode's weather. This episode's weather was Remember Us by Gabriel Royal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got some fans out there, fans of Gabriel.
My first note was cello, because there was a cello at the beginning.
He's a cello player that I think, this story might be not true or true. We'll find out. I think Joseph discovered him playing cello in the G stop of the Metropolitan Avenue subway in New York City. That's where I first heard him. The acoustics in that station are really cool. It's all tile and there's a lot of open space. And so he plays the cello there, and he's like a gorgeous cello player. And he is good looking.
I know, I was like, gorgeous
cello player. And so I think Joseph hired him to be the weather for this live show. And I remember he was like kind of hard to pin down. Like he wasn't great at answering emails, and he was like very late. And so we were like,
you're like, okay, here's a kazoo. Meg, guess what? You're the weather.
Yeah, maybe that's why I don't remember it, because I was stressed about Gabriel Royal. So it's this beautiful song. It does sound lovely, and it's a nice recording of it.
I think he's got a great voice.
Yeah.
And there was, reading my notes. Full take only your, there's a line about, my father said, be careful and only take what you need. I love that sentiment. It just like the thought of being like, I don't need excess. I don't need all these things. I just need to take what I need out of life, out of whatever, instead of being like taking all this excess. Like we need to Marie Kondo this biznatch. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Marie Kondo your condo. I really wanted to figure out a way to say that, and I've been thinking about it for the past couple days.
Oh, yeah, you can't see my feet. My feet sometimes when I laugh are like, do, 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 do. Like little stomps. It cracks me up, sorry.
Yeah, all right. I feel like we talked about the weather.
We did it!
Stay right there. Good Morning Night Vale will return after a brief break.
Let's welcome to the stage Dylan Marron, the voice of Carlos.
Yay.
Dylan Marron!
Yay!
Look at this queen.
Welcome, Dylan.
Hi, Dilly Bear.
It's so good to have you here with us.
I'm so happy to be here at this desk where we always hang out together.
Yes. Yeah.
We're always
where we all
in
first
this
met.
room. Now you're just here in this room with us, so that's what's happening.
So, Dylan, this was the first time that you were Carlos. What was that like?
This was the very first time I was Carlos. I was super nervous beforehand.
Wait, do you remember this performance?
I remember this.
Please enlighten us, because we have no memory of this.
No, I remember this performance beat by beat. I remember doing laundry earlier in the day. I remember like everything about that day. It was at the Bell House. I remember. You mean like details of like the show itself?
Whatever you want to share with the group, Dylan.
Yeah. I'm just getting small flashes, like drinking seltzer in the backstage area and being very nervous. So yeah, that's all I can offer, really.
Do you remember what I was wearing? Do you remember what Cecil was wearing? We're just...
Cecil had glasses still.
Oh, that's
I
right.
did.
Oh,
I
right.
really
Before
did.
This is
LASIK.
pre-LASIK, honey, yeah.
I know. Before the lasers got
Before
you.
the lasers. Yeah. That's
Best
very
Christmas
Night
present
Vale,
I ever
actually.
gave to myself.
Seriously. Cecil had lasers just shoot into his eye. Now he can see. That's pretty much about it. I was nervous. Okay. Yeah. And I did laundry earlier that day.
That's great.
That's all I can offer.
Good for you.
Yeah, thank you.
So you went back and read this episode
I read this episode.
because the file that I sent you was not good.
No.
So you went onto Tumblr.com.
Yes.
And read this episode.
Yeah.
And did you have any reactions when you read it back?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Joseph and Jeffrey have this like really incredible way of making all of the things in our current real world make sense in the backdrop of Night Vale. And I think there's something like, for those of us who live in big cities, those of us who live in New York, we know that apartment hunting is a terrifying and horrible experience. And there's something about the way they capture these condos and, the like, what is it, the black sphere, the like floating black sphere, that like they feel like these...
Cube.
Yeah, cube.
Actually.
It's so funny. I was picturing a cube and I said the word sphere. All right. That's interesting. And then I really relate to that, this idea of like going into this lifeless thing and then trying to make a life within it, and how you expect everything out of a home just as you expect everything out of a partner, and you want it to be. You have dreams of it, and then I was also thinking about how comparable it is to like for those of us who have ever done online dating in any form, how you like just draw a life between the pictures you see of someone, like you are the one filling in the gaps, and the same thing happens when you look at pictures of a condo that you could be moving into. You're like, okay, what would my life look like in there? And it's like completely idealized, and the kitchen always looks better in pictures than it does in person. And so, the parallels of like searching for a home and then kind of getting through the honeymoon phase of love is something that I find interesting. And that's what stuck out to me.
And on that same note, we were discussing the idea of perfection and idealization of perfection, and then the reality of being in a relationship. And do you think that's better? You're a married man.
I'm a married queen, yeah. And that's what happens when you get gay married. You become a queen. So, I wear a crown usually. I forgot it today. But I'm married, and it's very funny. My relationship with Todd, my now husband, like totally paralleled my time with Cecil, which is that.
That's why you were cast, actually.
That's why I was cast. And they moved in together at the same time, got married within a year of each other. And I think, I think the honeymoon phase is like this weird thing that you just kind of have to embrace. Like, it's not always going to be like this. It's not this like, it's not that like first weekend you spend with someone when you like don't leave a room together and you're just like, I'm fascinated by literally any word that comes out of your mouth, But I think there's a way to find a sustainable honeymoon phase, where it's like where you find like a lot of pleasure in the mundane. And I think this episode totally nails that too. Or this episode is catching them like right as they're about to move in together. Mm-hmm. But I remember when Todd and I moved in together, I was like, holy shit, this is a sleepover every night.
Joseph and I say that.
Yeah, I was like in third. That's what it feels like. I truly remember the first night we moved in together, and I was like could not handle my excitement because I was an only child, and I always imagined that like people with siblings felt that they had like a sleepover with a friend every night. And
it's not like that.
Yeah.
At all.
Okay, great. Also now revealing that Todd is my brother. Todd and I are identical twins. We were like, let's get married.
Yes, queen.
Yes, queen.
It works for the Lannisters. Yes. It worked for you.
Yeah. We are a royal family. So we just marry within the
bunch
family.
Of queens.
Bunch of queens. For people who did not understand that was a joke, my husband is not my brother.
No queen.
No queen. The house down. I want to be clear. I understand that this is being recorded, right? Yeah. So I understand that sometimes things that are intended as jokes do not get translated as jokes. If anyone wants to take that out of context, though, that I married my brother, go with it.
That's like the whole season 3 of
season 3 of conversations with people who hate me, as people being like, Dylan Marron fucking married his brother. And I'll be like, well, here are our birth certificates. Also, Todd is white, and I am respectfully not. And so I chose to not be white.
Can I please be the moderator of that debate?
Yeah. You'll be the moderator on that.
And you have 3 minutes. Go.
Dylan Marron's fucking brother, marry her.
Okay, rebuttal.
Well, no. And then the episode is over. It's very quick. So that is that, and God bless us all, and God bless America. So no. How did we get here? Oh, yes, I remember.
Knows.
Sleepovers. Yeah.
So I just remember the first night Todd moved in, I was like, oh my God, like, let's play tag in the morning. You know, like, let's, like, make breakfast.
Build a fort.
Yeah, mom's away, and we'll go wild. Again, I'm not helping my case that I my brother. But it's so fun, and I think that's, like, there is no secret to relationships only because, like, every relationship is like a snowflake and everyone is unique. But I think that it's like, what does silence look like? What does just having like a boring day look like? What does something not exciting and kind of how do you live with the mundane together? Because that's what coming out of the honeymoon phase is, right? It's just like
real life.
Yeah, just real life and yeah, all of that stuff. Yeah.
Although, admittedly, I do like those moments in relationships where, like, do you have those, like, in order to bust up that sort of everyday mundaneness, you know, like, I don't know, I'll sometimes, like, plan little scavenger hunts. Or, like, you know, like, I actually gave someone a book. I was like, here's a book of, like, places in New York City that are kind of weird and interesting. Pick out a few that you would like to go to, and let's, like, have date night where we just, like, go do, like, discover something about New York.
No, I love that, too. I also think, truly, I believe my sexuality is like surprising Todd with gifts for his birthday, and
it's always really cute because his face is like
he's like a very fun person to surprise, I think you're so right about that, which is like finding just like that like fun little magic that you can do.
It's just like, I made you a muffin.
Yes,
you know, little things that do
totally.
kind of like once you've peaked the honeymoon phase.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, you know, we're just like, but you know what?
Yeah.
I still like, you know, doing these little cute things above and beyond things.
Yeah. I just like binge watching TV and
oh my
eating
God,
pizza.
Yeah.
Like that's romance for me.
Really
well, that's like the day to day.
Not if it's a heart-shaped pizza.
Yeah.
That was legit my Valentine's Day that I was like, yes!
Wait, did you get it? Did you get a heart-shaped pizza?
Oh, you know I did.
What?
Whoa.
You know I did. When I was with my long-term love, we're broken up. I'm single. But he's a great person. We would, the local pizzeria did heart-shaped pizzas for Valentine's Day, and I was like, and I'm not, as most people know, not a Valentine's Day person. I feel like you should show the person you love them like every day. But heart-shaped pizza, that is very special to my heart.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, and it wasn't like anatomically correct, but it was the thought of.
Did it have beef heart on the heart-shaped pizza?
There was beef bits in there. I don't know if it was heart, but it was delicious.
Yum.
The thing that I think about with this relationship and the relationships in general, it's that there is so much mundane, but it's how do we make the mundane special? And that's a lot of Night Vale. It's like the mundane is so outrageous and the outrageous is so mundane. But in relationships, I think finding a way to make the mundane special is awesome. Like my favorite Christmas gift that I bought this year was peppermint candy Tums for Joseph because I knew he would love them. And I was so excited to give him this like, you know, $4 container of Tums because I was like, he's going to be stoked about this because he loves Tums, number one, because he's a bad stomach, and number two, they're like Skittles. So yeah,
they're good. The smoothie ones. Whoop.
This like, you know, I got him other stuff for Christmas too, but like the thing that I was most excited about was like this mundane little gift that was just because it's so.
But you know what's
and isn't that better? And that's better than the, you know, like sort of, you know, like the Valentine's Day like hearts and flowers.
Yeah.
You know, like things that yes, we can all sort of say yes, like. Who doesn't like getting flowers? Or who doesn't like getting chocolate? But that is love.
But antacids.
Like specifically flavored antacids.
Yeah.
That is freaking love right there because you have to really know that person, you know.
And their tummy.
And they're
They're special, sensitive Tommy. So we do this thing on Good Morning Night Vale called the Fanzone Calzone, where we hear from our fans about their theories or questions that they have for us. We don't have like an abundance of time, but we might have time to hear from some of you if you have any things you wanted to say about condos, or if you had questions for us, or if you had like a outrageous fan theory you wanted to share. Does anyone have a fan zone? Anyone?
You've been fans.
All right, I see there's a fan zoner in the back.
So we step into the fan zone.
They're coming to you with microphones.
Fan zone.
T-shirt cannon.
Yes.
Hi, guys.
You.
Welcome to the Fanzone Calzone. What's your name?
I'm Sarah.
Hey.
Sarah.
Hey, Sarah. The queen.
I'm so excited. This is awesome. Thank you guys so much for doing the show. I wanted to talk about Cecil and maybe like, do you guys think that he is sort of omniscient? I know at one point you guys talked about his office and like what his office looks like, and I always sort of pictured like a screen where he can see the whole town and everything that's going on. So what do you guys think about that? I don't know.
I actually like that idea. If there was like almost like CCTV, like a wall of like 100 screens or something, where you're seeing like every part. You know, you see out back of the Ralphs and like in the bowling alley and like at the school or the library, and like there's just like little blips of that, and it's constantly like switching to something else. I like that.
It's like the panic room
Yes.
of Night Vale.
I feel like when he's not recording, like when he's not on air, he's just every denizen of Night Vale is calling him with tips. Like that's how I imagine Cecil's like office time that isn't recording.
Okay.
He's got like a hotline.
Yeah, he totally
Like Night Vale Community Radio hotline.
Exactly. He's like a very trusted person. I remember, I think there was an on the media piece once about journalists in war zones and how like they are seen. There is like a respect that people have for journalists in war zones of allowing them to cross borders, because it's like, okay, they're just reporting the story. And I always saw Cecil like that. Like Cecil Palmer is this person who is just allowed to know every side of a story because they trust him as the person who voices the kind of like neutral truth of that story. So that's
Truth.
Journalism.
The impartial.
Right.
I always imagine kind of like a Terry Gilliam Brazil like ticker tape. That's like he's just constantly being handed little notes.
This is good.
By
Yes, I like
interns.
that.
You know, it's just like everything is like an update. You know, and that's why he sort of contradicts himself, because he literally just is like one piece. It's like a telegraph. Yeah, it's like one telegraph to the next. Like, this is the news, this is the news, this is the news. And it doesn't matter that they kind of contradict each other.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyone else want to get into the calzone? Yeah, I got it down in front with pink hair.
Yes, pink hair.
Pink hair tribe.
Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
welcome to the Fanzone. What's your name?
My name's Teo.
Hey.
Big fan of the show. It's awesome that you guys are here. It's really cool. Sorry. This one's not particularly related to condos either, but I have a theory. I'm not sure if this has been like confirmed or deconfirmed, but that all of the other towns they talk about, like Red Mesa and Pine Cliffs, are other Night Vales that have just been like, that certain events in Night Vale have changed them, and so like in a like retroactive sense, like they talk about how Pine Cliffs was taken over by the carnival, and the carnival comes to Night Vale, and that's like another thing, and then that sort of splits off into its own universe, and they talk about dragons in Red Mesa, and so I was like, maybe that's like a version. Well, this does sort of relate to the episode where Hiram manages to become mayor or something like that. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I mean, they could very well be almost like different multiverses, right, of Night Vale, and it's converted them. I mean, no one knows, but I think it could very well be something like that.
Yeah, I always think about like where Night Vale is. Like for me, in my mind, it's like Night Vale's in America, but it's a different alternate universe. So the towns around it. Maybe every town in America is like Night Vale, and it's not specific or any different, but it's just a whole different America. So yeah. To your point, I think that it's possible because the travel into Night Vale and the things that affect it from the surrounding towns. I think that in my world, everyone's playing by the same rules. But America in itself is just different.
Yeah. I would always, I think like year one, maybe, I'd asked Joseph and Jeffrey, I was like, hey, so if Night Vale is sort of our Simpsons Springfield, and Desert Bluffs is our, Shelbyville, what is the capital city? Like, I was like, what if there was an episode where Cecil goes to like the big city? And what would that look like? I don't know if they ever got to it though. Yeah, there's no like, what is New York City in the world, like in that like alternate America?
Can Cecil leave Night Vale?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
he gets to
supposedly French.
spoilers
Yeah, he goes to Spitz and he goes to Europe or but can he? But did he actually go, or was he in a re-education camp, which is a theory that I have about when he goes to Europe?
Yeah.
They just implant memories of Europe.
Yeah,
they just put him in a room and they're like, "Welcome to Schwitz." And then you walk into another
like Clockwork Orange
Welcome
style,
to Francia.
like eyes are like,
Wow,
Svitz.
this is terrifying.
Svitz.
Yeah.
Well, we have time for one more Fanzone Calzone in the Manic Pixie Dream Tarantula.
They're coming. Microphone's on its way.
Hi. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about like music in Night Vale, because it's pretty iconic, particularly the concept of the weather. Every time I'm waiting for the bus in the rain, I'm like, but like I think it's fascinating, the concept of the music as the weather, and also I think Glow Cloud, one of the live shows, the idea of music as science. Like it feels almost like there's this inherent, like the way we perceive music, obviously in Night Vale, it's kind of different. It's almost like destructive, not to say that it's like really destructive, but the concept of like a lot of the weather things that happen in Night Vale are like destructive, and like even music as science, like a lot of the times when Carlos gets too into science, like things start to go bad. And I wonder if you have like I think that's like really interesting, because I think most people generally would like be like, yeah, like music is a really good thing, but this idea that like music itself has like a sort of negative energy or a negative power is really interesting to me.
I always think of it the other way, because I feel like before the weather, there's usually like the big bad is like something's happening, and then the weather happens, and then it becomes resolved somehow.
Yeah.
But I'm of the thought that you just need to be like, well, it'll all be fine.
Yeah.
Let's just take a break and see what happens when we get back. Yeah.
You were gonna say, babe?
You go, Dill.
Okay, the weather as music is what struck me the very first time I listened to Night Vale. The first time I ever listened to the pilot, I was like, okay, a weather report, and then it's music, and I thought my like podcast skipped something, and I was like, what? But I think like this is like the brilliance of the world building of Night Vale. Like it makes so much sense, and to me, the way I rationalized it and the way I still see it now is, and I don't speak for Joseph or Jeffrey, but the way I see it is as if like music and songwriting is itself a temperature of the times, a temperature of what's going on, and there's something that like music can be used as a way to tell either the macro weather of what's going on in society or the micro weather of what's going on in someone's mind or someone's heart. And that's how I always saw the weather report as a song, and it made perfect sense in the world of Night Vale, that's to me, yeah.
We did it. Symphony, take us home.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us here at PodCon 2 or out there in the netherworld of the internet. Just as a reminder, Good Morning Night Vale is now a just like myself, monthly show. Wink. And make sure you check us out starting next week again, I believe.
Yep.
And as always, and forever, Good Morning Night Vale. Good morning.
Good Morning Night Vale is a Night Vale Presents production. This episode was recorded live at PodCon 2 in Seattle, Washington. It was hosted by Symphony Sanders, Cecil Baldwin, and Meg Bashwiner. It is edited by Grant Stewart. It is mixed by Vincent Cacchione. It is produced by Meg Bashwiner. Theme music by Disparition. Special thanks to our guest, Dylan Marron. Leave us a voicemail at 929-277-2050 or email us at info@goodmorningnightvale.com to share your theories and ask questions, or to share a sweet, tender memory of PodCon. This show is powered by our patrons like MX Reese, Kathy Fink, Julie Clays, Daniel Atunes, and Nathan Philippin. If you are interested in supporting this show in exchange for the knowledge that you are the binding glue of Hal, Symphony, and I's friendship, check us out at patreon.com/goodmorningnightvale. For more information on this show, go to goodmorningnightvale.com and follow us on Facebook and on Twitter at NightValeChat. Special thanks to Hal Lublin, Christy Gressman, Jeffrey Craner, Joseph Fink, Adam Cecil, and the PodCon team. Today's adverb is brotherly. I have a brotherly love for Dylan Marron.